The worst piece of advice anyone could give you is just stop eating, because if you could, you already would have by now. So we know we need to go much deeper, and we're going to. So make sure you're sitting down or you're listening to this through your headphones and you're ready to take some fucking notes, because this will change your life. It's allowed me to get serious results with guys inside my coaching program, which you can see all across our Instagram pages, which are linked in the description. Now, I've drafted some notes for this one because I don't want to miss any points. We must understand you emotionally eat when you are either sad, bored, lonely, or anxious. And a funny story, just to bring a bit of humour to this topic, was when I was younger, I used to be in the British Army, and we would live in the block together, which is like loads of mini bunks. It's quite kind of cool, actually. Loads of mini bunks, and you're there with all your friends. It's fucking, honestly, it's pretty cool, actually. We would play FIFA, me and my good friend, and we'd play for like forfeits and all that sort of stuff. And we'd always have like some snacks around when we were playing. And when someone has just scored against you or something rageful has happened, like he's just done a due goal where he's running down, he's passed it and like he's cheated on, and he's like, snaked the goal or whatever, or you were going through one-on-one, you're just about to score and he come and like takes you out of the game. Obviously he's happy to take the red card, but he takes you out of the game and you're there like seething. We would go, yep, straight in, and you'd have a cookie because it's the sugar. You like feel it, and it's not that you're like, stressed out your mind, emotional, and everything. It's like there's a little bit of rage bait, and you see sugar, and you just eat it. And it was a weird thing because I never noticed it. And then he said it again. He said it a few times every time we play. I was like, oh shit, yeah. I was like, that's just naturally what we do. You get a little bit angry, and because there's snacks and sugar around, boom, you eat one, and you get that dopamine hit. But I just thought it was an interesting topic to bring to the video. So let's understand the brain's chemistry. It's always going to be something sugary that you want because it's going to trigger the brain's reward system. It's going to trigger dopamine in the moment. You feel bad, okay? So you get hit with whatever wave of the emotion it is that you normally get that triggers it. You feel bad. Now, we've always, from being younger, been told that food is comfort. Here you go, young Timmy, you've done your homework, here's a sugary tweet. We've all achieved something big, let's go and celebrate out for food. Food has always been, it's been bred into us from a young age. That is the rewarding system. So naturally, when you are feeling down, any of the emotions I mentioned, you're going to search for dopamine in the form of food, and for a fact the most dopaminergic food is going to be that high sugary, high fat, instant reward system. Like the anticipation just before you eat it, reward starts going up in the brain, eat it, boom, after eating it, straight back down. And the unfortunate thing is it goes below baseline, which is catastrophic because you want to be here, you're here, you eat it, you go up, and then boom, and you come back lower again. And it's just because now you've got the guilt of eating it as well, and knowing that you felt sad, you've got an issue, or you realize you've now actually got a secondary issue, which is you had the first issue, which is the emotion, the second issue, which is the emotional eating. Now you're like, fuck, I've got two problems. So you're like in the gutter at this point. So we need to obviously fix this. We can't have you, whenever you feel that emotion, just going and getting food, because you'll never get in the shape that you want, which is the main thing we speak about on this channel. But it will just be your crux in everything in life, because whenever you're going to go through these emotions and adversity time and time again throughout your life, you need something stronger than just sugar or high fat food that's going to make you feel good for a very minute second. So we need to attack this at the actual root cause. So how are we going to fix this? I've got a two-step process. The first one is going to be pretty uncomfortable. You won't like it, but it will be very good for you. And the second one is some things that I think will actually quite excite you. But we'll go into this. So the first thing I want you to do is we need to get uncomfortable, and we need to attack it at the root cause. So this is going to be a little bit uncomfortable. Which makes you overeat? So we need to work out what is the emotion that you actually mainly resonate with. Is it that you feel loneliness, boredom, sadness, or anxious? Work out which one of these is your main catalyst of emotion that makes you overeat. Now we need to understand, why do you feel that emotion? Now that emotion will be anchored to a story that happened in your past, because you didn't just wake up one day with it. So it will be anchored to something. So let's say you have sadness because someone died. So let's say you had someone really close to you. Maybe it was a father, a mother, a brother, or someone that mentored you and they were close. But either way, it was someone that had a big impact on your life. And when they left, it left this hole and you felt like general sadness about it, and you struggled to get over the fact that they'd left this earth, I want you to write out, either on your computer or on an actual piece of paper, I want you to write the full story from start to finish, but I want you to write it in the third person, because it's a person that's already existed. It was an older version of you. So I want you to write out from start to finish the story, because it could be like such and such started to get sick, then things started to fall downhill, boom, 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 then he died, then I started to feel like this, then I started to do this. And I want you to write it out in detail. Now this is the uncomfortable bit, because you're gonna have to go back through and dig up the emotions which you've buried so deep under all this emotional comfort eating. You need to go back through, you need to dig it up. The reason I say this, because you need to get clear on why you got the emotion in the first place, which you will know the answer to it. If I said gun to your head, no bullshit, no one's gonna know what the answer is. Why do you do this? You'll be able to tell me. And with a bit of sitting and thinking, you'll definitely be able to find out. But I stress this a lot. It will be uncomfortable. You will not like this process, because you're just literally going digging back up old problems. And the same way, when you think of a sexual thought by yourself in the comfort of yourself, your fucking dick gets hard. The same way you will think about this again, you'll feel the same emotions, because the brain doesn't know what's happening right now in real time or what's already happened. The same way you can literally not be sat near anyone sexual and get yourself a stiffy. You see where I'm going with this? So you will feel the uncomfortableness. I can't stress that enough, but it's actually important you do, because we need to confirm why you feel this. Now, the beautiful thing about writing something in the third person is, when it's not you, you know what the best version of you should do. And this is why I say, write out what goals you should achieve next year, because you're like, well, what would future me need to do? Well, he'd achieve this, and he'd set this goal, and this goal, and this goal. This is why I say, write out what you should do tomorrow, the night before, because you're like, oh, well, tomorrow he's going to wake up and he's going to do this, 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 this. It's easy to be, excuse me, the pilot in your life when you're not flying the plane yet. However, if you're living it day to day, it's very hard to think of these better things, because you're physically living it and you're like, oh, actually this takes work. But when it's future you, it's very easy to write this out. So it's easy for you to, once you've got the story, extract the important parts and write out what's needed. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to work out where and why you feel these emotions. So let's say someone did pass. We need to look at that and think, right, I feel this emotion because he was an important figure in my life. He taught me this, 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 and this. He was a great person, and he's left a hole because of that. Now, the first thing I want you to do is to celebrate. Imagine you never had him in the first place, and you don't have the lessons that you have today. Imagine I could take all that away from you now. I could press a button, and all that is erased, but you know it's been erased. And you feel bad because now you've lost all the lessons, all the benefits, all the highs you had with that person, gone. You'd be like, oh, well, that'd be fucking even more shit. So you're like, straight away, oh, well, I should celebrate the time on this earth. I've only lost really, I've been lucky, to be honest. I only lost 2 granddads, obviously both my only granddads in my life, but I lost my first one when I was in year 8, so I can't remember what age you are, in year 8 of high school, so I can't remember what age you are, but he was a big figure, an impactful figure in my life. And that age was a youngish age, and it's the only time I've ever really felt sad about loss. Obviously, I've lost people outside of that, but that was the only time. And then I just got to the point where I was like, well, imagine you never even knew him, or you never really met him. I was like, at least you have all those memories. I can remember he would live drivable distance, about 15 minutes from where we would live, and every Sunday I would bike up and go and see him, and he would cut my hair because he was a barber, and he would we'd eat food together and I'd sit with him, and I remembered all those Sundays. I was like, fucking hell, imagine I never had that, the privilege of that. And then I thought to myself, oh, this is the action step I would give you. I was like, that individual that you feel sad for would not want you going through, A, they would want you feeling sad, and B, they would definitely not want you comfort eating to get over the issue. That would really pain them. So you've got to think, right, and the beautiful thing about writing this out in third person is you can look at it with a little bit of logic, because it's not happening now, it's already happened, and you've written it in third person. You can look at it with logic and be like, what should he actually do here? Well, he should celebrate the life, and he should not feel like this because the person wouldn't want him to. So then you can almost let go and forgive the situation. But this is hard, and it's uncomfortable, of course it is. And it might even take you 2 goes of writing it out. The first one might just completely bring up a wave again, but the second time you look at it again, you can look at it a bit more clear and level-headed. The same way, they say, time's a great healer. Like if you ever like split up with a girlfriend or something, in the moment it might be pretty painful. 6 months later, you're like, give a fuck. You completely got over it. But obviously these situations are a lot more emotionally anchored. That's why you can't get over them straight away. But a few times of running through this, I think you will be able to, because, well, I know you will be able to, because time is a beautiful healer. But once you've had more exposure to this event, to reading it, looking at it, feeling it, reading it, looking at it, feeling it, it will shrink, because what you look at goes away eventually. If it's loneliness, then you need to think, like, again, write out the same situation in the story and think, well, what action steps could I give here? Honestly, you just need to like have a look at yourself and think, right, I just need to get out and speak to more people. Like, if I'm feeling this, what's the polar opposite? What would you give the advice to someone here if they felt the same things? You'd be like, just get outside and talk to people. Like, if you feel that, like, your immediate action step is to go and walk outside and go and speak to people. That's your immediate action step. If you're bored because you've not got any goals to hit. Like, I tell you now, I remember when I used to be bored in like high school or maybe like the early stages of the army. Now I'm never bored. I film a YouTube video every day, so that takes thinking, and then obviously the guys inside my coaching groups, they need attention every day. Like, there's always someone to speak to, there's always something to do, or there's always like a new country to go and expose myself to, or I should be improving my boxing skills, or I should be making sure I've trained, or I should just get to bed earlier. There's always something to fucking do. Always, 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 as long as you have a mission. So if you're bored, it's because you haven't got a mission, and you haven't got a mission because you think you shouldn't have a mission or you don't deserve one. Everyone should have a fucking mission, and I'm not special, you're not special. That's why we should all have one. Like, it's just you've decided that you're not worthy of having like something like that, when you need to set your standards high and you need to go and like set a mission. So if you're fucking bored, set a goal that you're going to hit and make it pretty like scary and pretty lofty, that you think, oh, I might actually fail at this, so you have to force yourself forward. Because that's what if you wrote out the I emotionally eat because I'm bored, and we wrote the full story out as to how we got there, the immediate action steps you put underneath would be like, set a mission, go and attack it. You know the answer, but it's almost like you need to sit and do this exercise in third person to gain clarity on it. It's like you can't just sit and think this through in your head, because it's not enough clarity. Things need to be on paper and removed out of your brain. Honestly, if the feeling is anxious, very quick tip, just move your body, honestly, because like anxious is just stored energy inside your brain. It's like compounding. It's like, if you just go and move your body, I guarantee you hit 50 press-ups, you will feel infinitely less anxious. You feel anxious, you go and walk, you'll feel infinitely less anxious. Like, I tell you now, that's like a quick action step if that's the one you're feeling. So we want to write out some action steps for the old you and make them, in the beginning, make them small and short so they are actionable. So let's say you've written the full story in third person, you're going to write out some small action steps to this. So yeah, the reason you want to make them small is I want you to be able to achieve them and make progress, because now what you're going to do is you're going to fight against the emotional anchor that's been there for so long. And if we try and set something, again, going back to like, you know what the best version of you should do, the problem with that is sometimes you'll set things too high and you just never get started and do them. So we need to set them to a point where you can step on the ladder. Imagine it's a staircase. Your action steps are staircases. And if you set the first step like at fucking belly button height, you're not going to get your foot up there and actually make the first step. But if we set it at knee height, you will. So that's the analogy I want you to take when you're setting your action steps. But again, this will not be a nice practice. It won't be a nice practice, but fuck me, it will be a serious weight off your shoulders when you've gone through, dug it up, looked at it in the third person, given action steps, given clarity. You'll feel a lot better about yourself. But it won't, in the beginning, it will not feel nice. You'll be like, fuck this guy in this fucking stupid blue tracksuit with his fancy backdrop in Medellin, Colombia. Fuck this guy. And you'll think of that, but honestly, just persevere and get it done. Now, the second is a little bit more fun. And we need to align your life to slow dopamine. Dopamine is a great thing. It is your reward system in the brain. It helps with motivation. It helps you get things done. It helps with like physical things. You need as much dopamine as you can in your life. The problem is, in the modern day, you've aligned your life to fast dopamine, sugar, social media scrolling, videos you shouldn't be watching, like anything that's instant gratification. Anything that's instant, you shouldn't really take on it, because the brain wasn't designed for fast dopamine. Because back in the day, Dopamine came from hunting because it's equaled food. Dopamine came from like being around a community because it equaled like family and friends. So that's all slower dopamine. So for you, you need to align your life to things that are more slower. And for the most part, the very simple answer I'll say to this is, does this give me something right now, or does this give me something later? And if it's later, it's slow dopamine. If it gives you it instantly, it's right now. Obviously, you could say, but Tom, you said 50 push-ups is going to reduce my anxiety almost instantly. Yeah, it will, but we understand that like 50 push-ups now is a little bit painful now for a little bit more muscle later. So like, you get the point I'm making with that. So some like action steps I'll give you now is look at your day and think, how can I align my day to slower dopamine? So like, I'm going to put 4:30. It's 6 a.m. now because I wanted to spend time thinking of this video and then obviously recording it. But it's slow dopamine, and it's dopamine getting up that early. Because fucking hell, it's 4:30. It's fucking pitch black outside. The sky's only just coming up light now. So it's like you get that straight away. Having like a series of good habits that you do straight away when you wake up. So for me, I'll wake up, I'll get in a cold shower. That's slow dopamine because it's fucking uncomfortable as soon as you walk in, but after you're like, yes, this is fucking great. The same as like getting out of bed at 4:30 is not great at the moment, but 15 minutes later it is when you're like awake and you're alive because you've had a cold shower. You're like, oh fucking hell, I've got all this time in the morning now, it's quiet, no one's about. I'll then do some like heavy breathing to make sure I'm breathing properly, it's circulating through me, but I'll tie that in with meditation. Again, miserable in the moment, trying to align your thoughts to your breath, but very, very useful for concentration. Like I can literally just sit and there's no other thoughts in my brain when I'm giving you this information. I'm not distracted, I'm not thinking about anything else. I'm just thinking about giving you the best information I possibly can. And that's probably down to the 5 minutes meditation I did before. Then I'll do 100 push-ups, 2 sets of 50, boom, 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 boom. Again, like uncomfortable towards the back end of both sets, but you know, better it later on. 1 litre of water. And then I just write down 3 things I'm grateful for. So that's straight away all slow dopamine, but it sets my morning up nice. And then I go into my work block so I can, go into thinking of good videos. Again, I'm posting a video every day on this channel since the 29th of Jan 2024. It's now like we're in March 2026, so over 2 years of daily uploads. And again, understanding that every time I upload a video, it's not really, does it benefit me right now? No. Will it benefit me in the future? Yeah, or they'll all compound. And I've had loads of guys join my coaching groups being like, oh, Tom, I watched you for 6 months. I found your videos decent. I actually thought, do you know what, I'll bite the bullet. I'll see what your free stuff's good. I'll see what your paid stuff's like, which, innocent plug. If you want to work one-to-one with me, that's like we're in the trenches together. I'm helping you. I'm literally doing it all for you, but you're obviously doing the work, but I'm giving you the plan, and we're over on WhatsApp and making sure that you're getting that result. That's like my one-to-one. And then my second program is you still get all your custom-built training split, nutrition plan, like the full 9 yards. You get a full custom-built action plan, and then still weekly feedback from me. But it's more at a distance, and you just gain all the knowledge that I have inside my brain in a course material. So you can check that out. Second link in the description if either of those are useful for you. So I'm aligning my work where it's like it's not gonna this video is great, make it like, I don't know, 200, 300 views, whatever. Hopefully it will help a lot of people in the future, but for now, it's like, it won't mean that much in unison. But the fact I'm doing it every day over so many years, the channel will eventually blow up and be a great asset to me. But in the beginning, it's slow dopamine. I'm not getting quick, look at all this fucking million views a video, or like, loads of comments or whatever. But I know that it comes with time. So the same goes for the back end of the day. Like, what would slow dopamine be in the back end of the day? It'd be like, you go for a walk, you'd stay off your phone, you'd read something, and you'd get to bed early. That'd be slow dopamine. In the day, you get slow dopamine from like achieving goals. So it'd be like, right, let's say you'll set like goals in basically work, fitness, and family. And every day you're trying to do something to move you towards that. And it's not going to come quick. It's delayed gratification, but the fact that it's slow dopamine, you're going to feel good about yourself. So if you've learned something, if you've limited screen time, if you've done walks, if you've eaten whole foods, you're going to feel much better about yourself. Now, why do I say this? Because you're aligning yourself to dopamine. Dopamine's what you actually want. Because dopamine, we could say dopamine almost fights off the other like bad emotions that you have. If you've got high dopamine, I guarantee you're not sad, lonely, anxious, or any of the others. So not only are we digging up what was the root cause and giving ourselves action steps to minimize that, which it may not completely eradicate from your life, I'm not saying it will, but we also then align yourself to more dopamine, and the scale is like you're heavily invested into dopamine, whereas this, it barely gets any attention. So naturally you just live at this because this is where the scale's at. So we've blown up the dopamine emotion, but we've done it properly with good quality like foundations and slow dopamine rather than quick fixes, which are just, they're short-lived, they're in, they're out, they're in, they're out. We want slow, lasting, good dopamine, like, and you know, you find yourself a good partner and like good friends, that's going to give you good, like the best dopamine ever, better than anything that you'll receive from scrolling through your phone. So we align ourselves to the dopamine. Now, just as a side mission, you may need to do a bit of a dopamine detox, which can be pretty quick, to be honest. Like, all you need to do is try and stay off your phone for a full day, walk, drink some water, get to bed early, and you'll feel like so much better about yourself. Because essentially, what do we need to cut out? Screen time, scrolling time, sugar, food. If we cut those out, telling you now, that'd be like 90% of your dopamine detox, like, cut. Obviously, I'm assuming you don't play video games, but if you do, cut those out as well. Anything that's like fast dopamine, you just want to cut that out quickly for like 24, 48 hours as a quick dopamine detox, and then align yourself to this protocol that we've spoke about. So that is my guide. That's how I'd get anyone off an emotional eating issue. It's not nice, it's not comfortable, but it fucking will work. Hope you found it useful. If you did, comment below. We'll see you tomorrow.